All right, guys. I know I made my guide. I had uploaded it yesterday. The brand new updated variant of my build that I've been running and my stat template. Um, I am now here on PTR after reviewing a lot of these changes that'll be coming in 10.0.5, which we don't know when that'll be. It could be January 23rd, which some people are speculating. Other people are saying February 5th. Um, I don't think the season will be over anytime soon, probably for another month and a half, maybe 2 months. But that's besides the point. I want to come on to PTR and I want to discuss a lot of the changes that we're seeing to Arms Warrior that is going to make it, in my opinion, probably the best like iteration of Arms that it's ever been in a long time. And it is absolutely insane what they have done. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the initial part of the tree first. Which again did not see very many changes. Obviously, for arms, defensive stance is now baseline. You get it for free, just like you do with battle stance, which is a very big deal. Which frees up another talent point that we can use for other things. Which obviously, with the new slam, I put it into barbaric training. If I was treating this like arenas and I needed fast footwork or wrecking throw or shattering throw, this is what I would do. I would pull the point out of barbaric training because it gives a 30% slam buff in its damage, which can be completely foregone if you look at improved slam over here on the arms tree, right? Slam has a 15% increased critical strike chance and deals 30% increased critical strike damage. So slam, I think, is going to be extremely appealing now as a filler, whereas before we didn't really give a shit about slam. We didn't give a shit about rend. We would just kind of use slam or hamstring if we didn't really have any more like overpowers to use for our mortal strikes, or if mortal strike was on cooldown. Whatever the reason was, we never really gave a single shit about slam. Now I think that's not the case anymore. Since we already get a lot of our best in slot talents now, we're able to use crushing force with barbaric training, and if depending on what comp we need in arenas, obviously you sub out barbaric training because that's irrelevant, as long as you maintain the 2 crit bonuses and the damage bonus that you get from crushing force and improved slam. The other talents that I want to go over that we're getting back, okay. One of the biggest one by far, the absolutely biggest one by far, is ignore pain. Yes, we are getting ignore pain back. This is a massive deal because coming into Dragonflight, they had taken this away from us, and since then, Arms Warrior has been the worst spec it has ever been in a long time, with little to no mitigation. No matter how many Band-Aid fixes that we got by Fueled by Violence, getting increased healing on that, again, did nothing to help the situation. Now we're getting Ignore Pain back in place of Stormwall, which you get to pick between these 2 talents now, which I think is a much more healthier system. And now we have Ignore Pain back to help mitigate that damage, since D-Stance only reduces damage taken in PvP by 10%. And all we have outside of that is Die by the Sword, which is arguably a terrible defensive cooldown anyway, right? So now we have Ignore Pain back, which will give us that mitigating factor that we had lost coming into this expansion for Arms Warrior. The next thing I want to talk about is the shuffling of talent points, like what we also got from this as well. We had also got Sweeping Strikes baseline along with D-Stance, right? So some of the new talents that we're getting is Spiteful Serenity, which is where anger management is. You can pick between the 2. I think Spiteful Serenity could potentially be good if you're looking at longer, more consistent damage windows. 40-second Avatar, 20-second Colossus Smash. Potentially good long-term consistent damage, whereas anger management would be really, really bursty because obviously you're doing full damage with Colossus Smash and Avatar, right? I think there's potential for this talent. I don't know yet. We'll have to see when we actually get to play the game and test this out. But yeah, the other talent that we got that was new, which is improved Sweeping Strikes and Strength of Arms. So improved Sweeping Strikes basically makes Sweeping Strikes it lasts longer. It now lasts 21 seconds. And the cooldown is still 30 seconds. Like, I can't explain to you how big of a deal this is for our damage and our maximized like ability to do cleave damage. Like, this is actually insane. The other talent that we got was Strength of Arms, which is Overpower, has a 10% increased critical strike chance. Also, very, very good. Deals 10% increased critical strike damage on enemies below 35% health. It also generates rage now. Both of these are insane. You could say you could go Strength of Arms because it's it's just free damage, free crit chance, free damage, all that, right? And then you have improved sweeping strikes. Both of these are absolutely insane talents. Again, we won't know how. I mean, we know how good sweeping strikes is going to be, right? We already know that. We use it already, right? But just having it longer is always nice. We just know that. We don't know how good strength of arms is going to be. I see potential in this talent as well, considering that right now Arms Warrior stacks a lot of crit. Like I stack 27% crit. The rest of my stats I put into haste, right? Um, the way that they shuffled points around in the tree is absolutely incredible. Valor and Victory used to be a 2-point talent system where you would increase your versatility by 1% and reduces the cooldown of Die by the Sword by 15 seconds, right? So you would be able to put 2 points into it. Reducing this down to 1 point in our Arms Warrior tree has allowed us more freedom to do what we want with our tree to maximize our options and capability and our damage, right? So in doing so, we managed to get Fatal Mark or Fatality. Fatality is a big deal because it now has been buffed. Instead of lasting 1 minute on the target, it now lasts 2 minutes on the target. This is also insane with Unhinged and Sweeping Strikes because, again, you are dishing out Sweeping Strikes, Mortal Strikes on Bladestorm. It allows the potential chance to spread that Fatal Mark on multiple people, and it lasts a long time, which allows us to potentially swap to other targets in the future or to look for swaps. And when they hit execute range, bam, they get hit with that damage, and it's absolutely insane. With this as well, we also are able to go into Sharpened Blades and still get more crit as well. This is just absolutely just insane. Like, what they have done to the Arms Warrior tree is just a fever dream. All of it sounds so good, like it's too good to be true, and it all looks so good, and I just can't wait to play in the arena season with these changes. I'm just so excited. I just cannot wait to play. The next thing I want to do now is I want to showcase the slam damage. Since I'm on PTR, what I have done is I have copied my character over from live. I'm the exact same item levels, exact same items, enchants. Everything is exactly the same, right? Down to every stat, right? So I'm going to showcase what the damage looks like without using any cooldowns, just having Mortal Strike up for the Mastery buff and just using Overpower, okay? I don't have any add-ons on PTR, so you have to forgive me, so we'll go through that and how much damage that these things are doing. I'll go ahead and talk about them. But let's go ahead and begin, right? So ideally you want to get Mortal Strike up first, so we get our damage buff. All right, so first Overpower, 19k, 6k Shockwave, right? Incredibly good. 19k, 6k Shockwave. Not even bursting, no crits, nothing like that. Just insane damage already because of the Battle Lord change, which I wanted to go and talk about this really fast. I'm sorry, this is a little disjointed, but Battle Lord was buffed. It used to be 25% overpower damage increased and had a 25% chance to reset the cooldown of Mortal Strike, right? Which is a pretty big deal. Now it's 35%, but now Battle Lord also buffs your Dreadnought passive, which is your little shockwave that comes out of overpower. This is a very, very big deal. Obviously, like, look how much damage this is doing. No Mortal Strike buff on it, just chunking damage, okay? Now we're gonna look at Slam, 29k with, again, no cooldowns rolling, just our Deep Wounds Mastery passive. Just insane crits. Sustain-wise, without crits, 13.8k seems pretty damn good. It does a little bit less damage than our Overpower, but again, still insane. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to show our top-ended burst with, again, Overpower and Slam. I'm going to use my on-use trinket, and I'm going to use my Dwarf Racial, because, my Dwarf Racial gives me 875 main stat, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just use that to just show how much damage I can do, right? So let's go ahead and begin. I've got my Cancel Aura ready, so we'll get everything going. Let's do that. $72k Slam. That was top-ended with Spear passive as well. Overpower, hitting for 36k, while we still had Colossus Smash on. 42k crit there. Absolutely insane. 33k crit. Just absolutely insane damage. I am blown away by the damage potential that there is with all these changes. All right, now we're gonna do overpower damage with strength of arms, and we'll do only overpower. $86K. Oh my god. 86K overpower. What the hold on a second. Jesus Christ, guys. Guys, look at 86K overpower into a 29.1K dreadnought. My god. I genuinely think this is going to be the strongest iteration of Arms Warrior that I have seen probably since Legion. There's just so much more to do now, whereas before it was literally just overpower and mortal strike. And now we have gotten a lot of our self-defense back with Ignore Pain. There's a lot of hope for this spec. And I am very, very excited to play. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show you guys for this video. I wanted to keep it very brief, very quick, and concise, and just talk about the changes that are coming to this spec. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Expect more content soon. I'm going to be releasing an Arms Warrior video specifically for Rated Battlegrounds because people have been asking me. So expect that to come pretty soon. Anyways, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video.